Hello, sixth grade students. Welcome back for lesson 114, unit multipliers. Today we're going to learn how to convert feet into inches or inches into feet or any other units we can imagine, okay, using unit multipliers. So we're on page 597 and it tells us a unit multiplier is a fraction that equals 1 and that is written with two different units of measure. Recall that when the numerator and denominator of a fraction are equal and are not zero, the fraction equals 1. Since 1 foot equals 12 inches, this fraction equals 1. Since 12 inches equals 1 foot, this fraction equals 1. All right? We can use these unit multipliers to help us convert from one unit of measure to another. If we want to convert 60 inches to feet, we can multiply 60 inches by the unit multiplier 1 foot over 12 inches, and then they show us how to do that. Let's try this in example 1, okay? We're going to write two unit multipliers using these equivalent measures. 3 feet equals 1 yard. Okay, so we need two unit multipliers. And we could do it two different ways, right? We have 3 feet over 1 yard, right? That equals 1. Or we could say, flip it and do the inverse. 1 yard equals 3 feet. And that is equal to 1, right? So a unit multiplier is just a fraction equal to 1 that helps us convert one unit of measure to another. Because now they ask us in part B, which unit multiplier would you use to convert 30 yards to feet? And this one is a little tricky, but let's look at it this way. 30 yards, okay, we're going to multiply it by some unit multiplier, and that unit multiplier will have to have yards on the bottom and the feet on the top. The thing we're converting to will be on the top. The measurement that we have right now will be on the bottom, the denominator. So we will use this one. We're converting to feet, right? So we'll multiply 30 yards times 3 feet over 1 yard. This will allow us to then, we're multiplying, right? So we can think about it this way now. 30 yards times 3 feet over 1 times 1 yard. This allows us to cancel out the yard unit, okay? And now we can multiply and determine feet. So 30 times 3 feet is 90 feet over 1, which is 90 feet. Ta-da! We have used a unit multiplier to convert 30 yards to 90 feet. Let's try example 2. Convert 30 feet to yards using a unit multiplier. Okay, so this time we're converting feet to yards. We're going to use one of these unit multipliers, right? So we have 30 feet, and we want to know how many yards that is. So we're going to multiply 30 feet times the unit multiplier with feet on the bottom and yards on top, which is this one. Now remember, when we're multiplying, we can kind of get rid of this sign and put a multiplication sign between them, right? So we have 30 feet times 1 yard is equal to 1 times 3 feet. We can cancel out feet. Is there anything else we can reduce in this problem? There is. 3 goes into 30 10 times. So we end up with the answer of 10 yards. Ta-da! We have converted feet to yards very simply using unit multipliers. These are our unit multipliers. Let's do the practice set. I want you to try the practice set on your own. So pause it, do the problems, and then come back and see how I solve them. Okay, make sure you did it right. So A says, write 2 unit multipliers for these equivalent measures. 1 gallon equals 4 quarts. Okay, that's really easy. Writing our unit multipliers, no problem. We have 1 gallon, 4 quarts. This equals 1, right? Because 1 gallon is 4 quarts. And we can flip them, do the inverse. 4 quarts equals 1 gallon. That was A. B says, which unit multiplier from problem A would you use to convert 12 gallons to quarts? Okay, so we would multiply it times what? We would multiply it times, we want to have quarts, right? So we'll put quarts on the top. 4 quarts to 1 gallon. And that also allows us to cancel out our gallons, right? So then it doesn't actually ask us to solve it, so we won't solve it. Fine. No fun, Saxon, right? Let's look at C. Write 2 unit multipliers for these equivalent measures. 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeters. So we could say 1 meter over 100 centimeters, and the inverse. 100 centimeters over 1 meter. Perfect. And it says for D, which unit multiplier from problem C would you use to convert 200 centimeters to meters? Okay, so we're converting to meters. That means we want to have the unit multiplier with meters on top in our numerator. So we would choose this one, because then we could perform the problem and solve 200 centimeters over 1 times 1 meter over 100 centimeters. We could cancel out our centimeters. And it doesn't ask us to solve, so we won't solve it. E, use a unit multiplier to convert 12 quarts to gallons. Okay. So we have to go back to our unit multipliers with quarts and gallons. 1 gallon is equal to 4 quarts, or 4 quarts is equal to 1 gallon. So we're going to convert 12 quarts to gallons, right? Yes, okay. Since we want gallons, we'll use the unit multiplier with gallons on top, which is this one. Right? So now we can just pretend like this is gone, right? Join them together because it's the same thing. We're doing the exact same thing. We can cancel out units that are alike in the numerator and denominator. Those cancel. And we can also reduce. So does 4 go evenly into 12? Yes, it does. 4 divided by 4 is 1. 12 divided by 4 is 3. That leaves us with 3 gallons over 1, which is just 3 gallons. Let's look at F. Okay. F says use a unit multiplier to convert 200 meters to centimeters. Okay, so we want 200 meters into centimeters. So we're going to use a unit multiplier. Our choices could be 1 meter over 100 centimeters or 100 centimeters over 1 meter. We're converting to centimeters, so we'll want that on top, meters on bottom. So 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeters. That is the unit multiplier we will use. So let's cancel out like units in numerator and denominator, which here would be meters. Can we reduce? No, we can't reduce. We have 1 on the bottom already. So 200 times 100 is equal to 2 with 4 zeros at the end. Centimeters. 20,000 centimeters. G. All right, G says use a unit multiplier to convert 60 feet to yards. Okay, 60 feet over 1, and we want yards. So yards to feet would go on the bottom, so we can cancel them. What's our multiplier for that? 1 yard is equal to 3 feet, right? We want to have something equal to 1 right here. 1 yard is equal to 3 feet. That works. Let's multiply now. We'll cancel out like units in the numerator and denominator, which is feet. Can we reduce further since we're multiplying these? Yes, we can. 3 goes into 3 one time. 3 goes into 60 20 times. And that's given us our answer. We now have 20 times 1 yard is equal to 20 yards over 1, which is just 20 yards. Very good. Let me see if there are any of these in our practice problems, or written practice, excuse me. 114, number 6. You will write a unit multiplier and then you won't even solve. You'll just tell them which one you'll use and why. Oh, Saxon. Let's see. It looks like that is it. No, 26. 26 you'll actually convert. You'll actually use a unit multiplier to convert. Hooray! So you'll get a little bit of practice in this. If you get stuck with any problems, please let me know, okay? Send me a text or an email, or FaceTime me or call me. I'm glad to help you anytime, all right, guys? Good luck.